Anyway, happy Thanksgiving. I'm glad to have you here. This is going to be a little bit shorter show. I'm not going to go the full hour today. But what I am going to do is I'm going to do the show, and then I'm going to hop over to locals. And we'll probably, I don't know if we're going to stream a movie. We might stream a game. Might stream a game and a movie. Might stream a movie while I'm playing a game. I don't know. But I usually do something. I tend to work a little bit more during the holidays versus less during the holidays because a lot of YouTubers and people that put things on the interwebs take the day off. And then the rest of the internet's filled with good food and family and relatives and all the things that many of us don't have around us. And we're just dudes chilling on our own, doing our own thing. So I try to make a community where we all can hang out and we feel like there's something to do, because this is a tough time for a lot of recently divorced guys or guys that have lost family or things like that. I myself lost my father. I guess it was 3 years ago now. I think it's 3 years ago. I don't memorize the years or anything. But he passed away like on December 27th, which is right between Christmas and New Year's. So that's a hard time for my mom. So obviously I try to go out of my way to do nice things for her to make it a little bit easier, which means I might even be down to my mom's house for the holidays, for Christmas specifically. So anyway, happy Thanksgiving to you guys. I'd like to give a congrats to the winner of the 2024 Dumbest Man Alive Award. You know, many times we jokingly say the red pill's not taken orally, it's taken as a suppository, usually unlubed and least when you expect it, and it's shoved right up the tailpipe, and that's when guys learn how the real world works. This is a guy, I think, that was not only a nice guy, maybe saw a little bit of an opportunity to smash a kind of hot woman, and he got completely played for it. And this is why so many times we say, stop being nice. Not just, not be a nice guy. Stop being kind to people. Now, it doesn't mean you can't be appreciative and thank people for being a good hostess when you're out for dinner, or thanking somebody for letting you step in line, or thanking the person that makes your coffee. That's not what I'm talking about. Stop putting yourself in a position where you can get taken advantage of and you think somehow it'll win you brownie points, or you'll be looked at as a good person, or you're somehow bettering society. Like, it just is. Don't put yourself where there can be negative pushback. Look, and I'll use this quick example, and then we'll get into the story here. I go to the grocery store like the rest of you, and sometimes people are jerks, and they leave their carts scattered around the parking lot. And if I'm pushing my cart back, I will go out of my way to gather 3 or 4 carts up, and when I put mine away, I put 3 or 4 other carts away. It takes 10 seconds. I can't be legally held responsible for in the court of law, or it doesn't impact me financially or emotionally. That's not what I'm talking about. This guy has a, former classmate, a friend, and she's slightly older than him, and she decides she wants him to be a surrogate to give her a child because she's getting older and it's not any easier. And looking at the pictures of the woman, she's thin, she's attractive, she got a nice set of cans on her, she got a decent rack, and he was probably thinking somewhere deep in the recesses of his lizard brain, hey, I get to raw dog this and have a little bit of fun. And she said, no ties, no strings attached. Turns out not only were there strings attached, but ropes, chains, cement shoes before she threw him in the lake. And he ended up pretty much destroying his life. And the twist ending. Oh, the twist ending is the chef's kiss for retards that like to do this. Before we jump into the main video, let me go ahead and read from our sponsor, and then that way we'll do our video segment unsegmented. It'll be all one stream. Grandfathers, husbands, dads, or guys just protecting yourself, I'm talking to you guys. In moments of emergency, you don't have time to hesitate. Whether you're deep in the wild hunting, combating natural disaster, or camping off-grid, you need to be prepared for anything life throws your way. The Wellness Company's Field Emergency Kit, the most robust personal urgent care at home, giving you the edge when seconds count. Packed in an IP67 military-grade waterproof, dustproof case, this kit isn't just built tough, it's built to save lives. Inside, you'll find life-saving antibiotics, antivirals, antiparasitics, non-addictive pain relief, and even a generic EpiPen. With over 60 conditions covered, this kit stands ready when medical help is miles away or simply not an option. Each kit includes an 85-page medical guide written by the Wellness Company's medical board, guiding you to step-by-step to handle emergencies with confidence. Designed for adventurers, survivalists, and anyone who refuses to leave their safety to chance. Gear up with the Field Emergency Kit today, because when the unexpected happens, you won't just survive, you'll conquer the unexpected. This is the perfect holiday gift for the man of the house, or you, because we're the men of the house usually. Order directly now or purchase a digital gift card. This is a Rumble exclusive offer. Quantities are limited. Shop now and get $200 off today. Head to twc.health/oddmanout and use code RumbleSale, all caps, all one word, link down below, for $200 off plus free shipping. They're so awesome. They even said, hey, let your viewers on YouTube use this. Just tell them to use the Rumble code. And I said, okay, I will do that. So when you use the proper odd man out, all caps, go right here. Link is down below again. You'll see that beautiful face looking right back at you. Although it was probably 30 pounds, I was 30 pounds lighter and hiking around the wilderness. So I had muscle instead of just being a soft fat ass like I am now. Okay, so we're going to do this whole video full screen. I think you'll enjoy this. Again, this is what not to do. Let me do it there we go. This is what not to do. Trying to be a nice guy. Poster child. Maybe make sure the volume's up.
This is the story of me agreeing to get an older woman pregnant and then her trying to ruin my life. When I was 23, I had a one-night stand with a girl from my hometown named Maria. We both knew it was nothing more than that, and we didn't speak after. Several months later, I received a text from her saying that she hadn't been lucky in love and she wanted a baby before it was too late. So she asked if I would get her pregnant and I wouldn't have to bear any responsibility, like a sperm donor. I considered it, and I first thought no, but after some time to think about it, I thought it'd be the right thing to do for someone struggling.
See, this is the first problem, is I thought it'd be the right thing to do for a girl in my hometown and for someone that's struggling. That's the wrong answer, number one. And it's amazing how just one little mistake, one little oopsie doopsie can drag you in down the rabbit hole. Now, let's be honest. If she were 300 pounds and she was overweight and she was unattractive, he wouldn't think about it. But he thought about it because he said, hey, you know what? I'm single. I don't have anything going on. She's cute, which you can see in a couple pictures later. She's cute. She's got a nice body. She wants to smash and raw dog. Yeah, screw it. This is why you need post-nut clarity. Always crank it out before you make this decision. Go on a date and hook up with some chick, get it over with, whatever. Then, that's why they call it post-nut clarity, because you're not making stupid decisions like this. As you can see, he's got a relatively nice car. Looks like it's got a leather interior. It looks like an SUV. It's got a moonroof in it. It's new. It's quite clean. So I'd say this guy's got his ducks in a row. That's also key.
So we filled out an ironclad agreement, and basically I wouldn't be responsible at all. A while later, she told me she was ovulating, and then a few weeks after that, she told me she was pregnant, and it worked.
Notice he said ironclad agreement. You do not sign anything ironclad because it is not ironclad.
I went back to California for work, and we didn't speak after that. Unbeknownst to me, she contacted my family behind my back and invited them to the baby shower. They then began getting dinner or whatever regularly, and as she got to know my parents started encouraging me to be in the baby's life, and once I found out it was a little girl, I thought it was the right thing to do. I flew home to be there for the birth, and I got a tattoo of our daughter's middle name before she was born. After our daughter was born, Maria wanted us to be together and be a family, and when I said I didn't want to do that, she wouldn't let me see my daughter. My main source of income at the time was the Airbnb that I owned, and she said this a few months after she was born. I felt bad, so I let her move in for several months.
This is mistake number two. So mistake number two is he has an Airbnb, which is his only income, basically, his main income. And he goes out and allows her to stay there. So now he's knocked this girl up. She says right in this post, the baby and I need to stay in your house for like 2 months until I can get our own place so that I can save a little more. I'm taking a position remote, which comes with a huge pay cut, but I won't have to put our daughter in daycare and I can be home with her. Looks like we're closing this property on June 9th. So I'm hoping to be packed up and out of this apartment the weekend prior to the 9th. I'll put all of my stuff in storage except our clothes. Can we stay there? And then she says, kind of important you respond. And then she says, you're deliberately ignoring me and it's extremely frustrating considering I'm asking you to put a roof over your daughter's head. Even if you don't want to help us, then let's see a lawyer and sign your rights over and let me legally take care of it. Now, here's the thing. That's how it was supposed to be in the first place. It was supposed to be, it's just your kid and I'm not legally responsible. Then because he's nice and because he's naive and because he's a simp and because he's stupid, he says, you know something? Okay, I will be a part of the kid's life. And just by admitting that and saying that, he's now legally responsible for that kid until the age of 18. That was mistake number 1 or number 3 or number 5 or whatever we're on now. Then he gives up his main source of income to give her a place to stay because he's being nice. See, this guy is dim. He's not very bright, obviously. He's dim, and he's letting somebody take advantage of him, and she knows it because she has the dark triad stuff. She's narcissistic, and she's manipulative, and she understands that he's a moron, and she's going to take advantage of him, and she does every single step of the way.
Free. Once she moved out, she told me this: I've never done anything to warrant supervised visits, but I agreed to keep the peace. I would come home as often as I could to see our...
Now, I don't know if you can see it or not, and I really can't zoom it up very well, but it shows a picture with her, and her last name is Nguyen. Yuan? What national is that? Is Nguyen Chinese? That sounds Chinese to me. Maybe you guys can help me. Nguyen. I don't know if that's Korean or I think it's Chinese. Nguyen. Anyway, she's petite. She's thin. She's got a decent rack on her. She's pretty. Vietnamese. Okay. Well, there's another dude that got taken advantage of by an Asian lady. Someone else says Filipina. No, Filipinas usually have Latino last names. So Vietnamese, Thai, Vietnamese. It seems like you guys think it's mostly Vietnamese. But anyway, she's cute. I can see why he wanted to smash. But yeah, either way, he got suckered in. And so now he's losing. He agreed. His ironclad thing's out the window. Then he agrees to be dad. Then she uses the kid to manipulate him and threatens to leave, which is ironically what he wanted in the first place. But now he's nice and he's suckered in, and you can see him in the photo with the baby and playing with a little girl, and he's now in dad mode. He said, okay, I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to man up, and now he's in dad mode. Then he tries to manipulate him by taking away. Then she is staying in his place, which is his main income. Can you see how quickly this went from I'm just being nice to holy shit, you're stupid, dude. Stop it.
Our daughter, and things were usually okay when I was there. These are all from her Facebook. One Halloween, I didn't want to wear matching costumes with Maria, so she wouldn't let me see my daughter for a while. And when our daughter was being baptized, I drove a 14-hour round trip from Nashville to attend. And because I didn't want to see Maria the night before, she didn't allow me to come to the baptism at all.
Notice how he's giving her the permissions. I didn't dress in a matching outfit, which made her mad, and so I wasn't allowed to see the kid. I didn't want to do something, but whatever before, so I wasn't allowed to come to the baptism. Do you see how instantly this guy has resigned that she has all the power in the relationship? And on top of that, the courts will also deem she has all the power in the relationship, and she has the rights as a mother, and he has zero rights. Understand, this is what all of us men complain about when we say once the guy drops the seed, his ability to make any decisions is pretty much done with. Even if you go to court, even if you can prove in many cases that she's manipulative or even could be dangerous, it doesn't matter. There's so many stories out there where a woman has been found of actually being a danger, and the kids are still allowed to stay with her, and then out of jealousy or spite, she ends the kids, and then she ends herself. There's mothers all over the place on the internet that do that, and there's actually statistics that show that women are more likely to end kids that are theirs than dads are. Now, I didn't pull that up because I wasn't really thinking about it ahead of time, and I didn't really think it's necessarily relevant to this, but it is definitely a thing. You can look that up. Mothers definitely end their kids more, and a lot of times it's giving them stuff to make them go to sleep, put them in the back seat of the car. She takes the same thing, drives the car into a lake, a bunch of stuff. Usually involves going to sleep forever. That's women. So this is the argument that all of us guys have, even though this guy's going through it, and he's stupid. Even if he was smart, even if he was going to court, even if he was trying to prove his case, in many cases it doesn't matter. He'd still be going through the exact same thing he's going through, and see, he didn't know any of this. That's why you need to, even if you don't necessarily agree with red pill content or men's content or things like this, you need to at least be aware that this is happening, that this stuff is occurring. So that way, if you get married or you think you have a prenup or any of this other BS that people come up with, you're likely going to go through it if you pick the wrong woman. He obviously did because she's schizo, weird, nutso.
Soon after this, she served me with child support, saying that our original contract wasn't valid because our daughter didn't have a social security number yet. And I didn't fight her on it.
There you go. See, he keeps admitting all along the way he's giving up every right and every chance to get out of this. She brings up the ironclad contract. She comes up with some stupid thing that the kid doesn't have a social security number. That's on you, lady. You're the mother. That's on you. But he didn't fight her on it. He didn't even fight her on it. You can look at his eyes. He's just resigned. He's just resigned. He's just like, I didn't fight her on it. I've given up the will to live. I can't do it anymore. He's given up. He's just given up.
I didn't have the time. I was living away. I ended up paying her $10,000 up front.
I don't mean to keep breaking this up, but there's so much wrong with this story. I didn't end up fighting on her. I didn't have the time. I was working. Okay, and then you give her $10,000 up front. I bet that if you took that $10,000 and went to a lawyer and said, here, I took a day off from work. Here's this case information. Please start putting a case together. Serve her with a notice. Start doing so. It would have probably cost you, at least in the initial beginning, less than 10 grand and child support until the baby's 18, because that's like 16 more years of child support. I guarantee you that lawyer would have cost you less. But he's a nice guy. He's trying to do the right thing, not only for himself, but for the baby mama and the kid. And that's the problem. Not that it's a problem. Let me correct that. He's doing the right thing by trying to take care of the child, but she's manipulating him and taking advantage of him all the way up through. And he still doesn't get to see the child, and she's using the child as a bargaining chip. How many times do we hear of this happening, guys?
And $750 a month. I was able to move home.
Okay, $750 a month times 10 months is $7,500. 80, 75, 80. Okay, so he's paying about $9,000 a year. $9,000 a year. Plus 10,000 times 16 years. That's almost what? 160, 170, about $180,000. $170,000. I guarantee you a lawyer would have come to less than that. But again, this girl picked him because he's stupid. He is manipulative. And I keep saying she's stupid. She's not stupid. Obviously, she's very manipulative. And she's smart because she picked out a loser. And she knows that. And this guy looks to be tall. He looks to be in good shape. He looks to be a decent-looking guy. So she got the Chad DNA that she wanted, and she's taking advantage of him at the same time. But wait, there's more.
Soon after that, and I began seeing our daughter regularly. Everything was going really well until I got a girlfriend. Even though she had a boyfriend who was regularly around our daughter, she said that my girlfriend couldn't be around our daughter. I was able to get our daughter for...
You guys say, show us her pic. I don't really have a picture of her. I just have this video, and it's very hard for me to zoom. Hold on. Let me grab my screen snipping tool. Now, remember, this is after she's had the kid. And let me zoom this up. Is there a zoom? Yoink. Yeah, there we go. This is after she's had the kid. She's not bad looking. She's got a nice smile. She got a set of Hooters on her. She's thin. And you can see how much taller this dude is than her. Now, I'm not saying she's a catch by any means, but this guy, again, is kind of nice guy, naive, simpy. And this apparently is his baby mama with the guy that she's now dating. This isn't him. This isn't the guy making the video. This is some other dude that's smashing mom. And the reason why you know that is because if you look at his arms here, he has minimal tattoos. He has just a couple tattoos. The guy in the photo here, his arms are coated in tattoos. So it's not the same dude. So she's hanging out with Mr. Tall, Mr. I'm willing to date a single mom, Mr. I've got tattoos up and down, and she's smashing him now.
I was able to get our daughter for an afternoon, and Maria asked what I was doing. I told her that I was with my girlfriend, and we were at Lowe's together. She freaked out. I said I'd bring her daughter back to her as soon as we were done, but instead, Maria drove to Lowe's, apparently called my dad, and was running up and down the aisle screaming. I don't know what actually happened, but she was freaking out, just blowing up my phone, thinking she was in danger. And keep in mind, my girlfriend is a mom as well as a nurse. Our daughter was never in any danger.
Oh, God, this guy just is so stupid. He just keeps getting worse. Okay, so he's at Lowe's. The the baby mama finds out he's at Lowe's. She shows up at Lowe's and starts running around screaming, in contact with his family, now pitting his family against him, which is, I mean, just a loss. Obviously, she's mentally unwell, devious, smart, manipulative, but also mentally unwell. And in the meantime, this guy is now dating another single mom. This guy is failing on every single level. Now he's dating a single mom. And he's let his crazy baby mama get involved with and be friends with his family, and he didn't stop him. He didn't get a court injunction. He didn't stop any of it. He just let it happen. This is like, people should just take a picture of him, print it in vinyl, and use it as a doormat for their house, because literally everybody in this guy's life walks over him and uses him as a doormat. That's his name, Matt. First name Matt, last name Door. Unbelievable.
When I offered Maria and my girlfriend to get to know each other so they'd be comfortable, with my daughter being around, she immediately said no and called my girlfriend a word that rhymes with chore and refused to get to know her. Maria then made a public post saying that I was a deadbeat dad and that I hadn't seen our daughter in weeks. Here I am with our daughter just a few days prior to this post. I also left...
What I think is funny, too, is he's on social media pleading his case to everybody. Like, pleading his case. Like, look, here's she said all these awful things about me, but here it is just days before. Who are you selling yourself to, dude? Why don't you go to the courts and try to get custody of the kid, proving she's nuts? If you really want the best for the kid, then you and your new single mom girlfriend can watch after this child. And I think this guy is a genuinely nice guy, much to his detriment, but I do think he'd probably be a good dad. I think he would actually be the healthier person for the daughter to be with. But he keeps trying to do the nice thing. Let's make this work out. Can't we all just get along? Even after she's lied, manipulated, gone with his family to manipulate him, getting child support, broken the ironclad agreement. And I know many of you are like, because it doesn't matter, dude, he's still going to get run over. But you could at least try. You could at least try. Because whatever this is, putting it on social media and airing your grievances isn't doing any good.
Post. I also left my best friend's bachelor party a day early so I could be home for Father's Day, and she still wouldn't allow me to see her.
That's on you. That's on you. So you ditched your friends, raced home, and she still said no. Are you shocked? She's manipulating and using the kid to manipulate. I know a lot of you guys that are married or have girlfriends and had kids before. This is probably going to bring you PTSD flashbacks. I know a lot of you had women do that. I know guys, friends that had women do this to them. Just use that kid as a manipulation tactic 24/7. And then if you speak up about it or try to go to the courts or anything like that, she flips the story again and tries to paint you as a bad guy. This is why it is so important. It is the most important thing decision you can ever make in your life is who you impregnate. They can literally drive you mad to madness, and they can ruin your life. And this guy's just like, well, it is what it is, I guess. And anyway.
She even said this to my grandmother. She had her friends comment mean things on my girlfriend's social media multiple times, even though my girlfriend has never been anything but nice to Maria. Because Maria tends to do this, I want to make sure that she doesn't twist the story and make it seem like I abandoned our daughter.
Now, again, using his family to manipulate him, he keeps getting played, everything else. Now, prepare for the twist, gentlemen. Prepare for the twist and the story that just makes this go from, oh my God, this dude is stupid, to this is the biggest loser I've ever heard in my entire life. 3, 2, 1. And go.
I recently found out that our daughter isn't mine. I don't know who the dad is, but I've had 2 paternity tests done, and they both say this. I believed Maria when she told me that I was the only possible father. The situation was weird, but I was always happy to be a dad.
He ruined his life for a kid that's not his. He was so stupid and so convinced he didn't even bother. He went and gave everything. He gave all his time, all this effort, all this money, all wanting to be a part of this child's life, let her into the family. He got played from beginning to end, and the kid wasn't even his. And at no point did he think of doing this until the kid's already 2 or 3 years old, late enough that it's already been established that this is the father, and so now he can't even back out of child support. It's too late. In most states, in the states that allow you, you have about 2 years to provide paternity, and he waited too long. So now he's done all this and got suckered in and ruined his life, and then he decides to check if the kid's his after it's too late. My dudes, this is what puts it over the top as far as being the dumbest man of 2024. This might be the biggest simp I've ever done a video on, genuinely, because he doesn't even seem angry about it. He's just like, and then I did this, and it's not my kid, and then, but anyway, down here at the bottom in super, super tiny print, I can barely make it out, says the alleged father, he has his last name on here, I'm not going to read it, Brett, is excluded as the biological father of the child, of him and her name. By the background father in the following typical systems, they read off all the D1 coding, etc. Like, there's no genetic retainers contributed to the child by this biological father. You're done, dude.
I know that Maria already knew she was pregnant. She had to have, when she asked me to get her pregnant. I didn't think that was something that someone would lie about to another.
I didn't think, see, she was already pregnant. She found out she's pregnant, probably by the boyfriend she's dating now, and said she's ovulating to this guy. He drops a nut. She says it's his. He takes her word for it. And here's the thing. I don't know how old this guy is. He's at least in his 20s. And he even admits himself, I didn't know this is something that people would do. I didn't know anybody would do this. My dude, where have you been? There are so many stories of illegitimate children and children out of wedlock and women lying to men about paternity. I've seen it on Jerry Springer back in the 1980s. How do you not know this is even a thing? That's why I say he's probably a little bit, I mean, yes, he's naive, but he's got to be dim or something.
Something that someone would lie about to another human being. Not only to me, but my entire family as well. Everybody's distraught about this. Maria, I allowed you to paint me as the villain and you as the victim for years to keep peace, but I hope you know that the only victim here is your child.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. At least he can see the truth of it. I'm pretty sure this guy's probably going to be on the hook for the child support. Now, I don't have any updates. I don't have any other videos. This is just something that was, flipping around the web. So I don't have any more updates. But there's many, many states where if you don't, either A, it doesn't matter if you provide paternity. If the little girl identifies you, or little boy identifies you as a father, you're stuck. Other states, they have it up to, I think, 2 years. You have a chance to prove paternity. But he even showed in the photos the kid's older than 2. And here we are. Every step of the way, he did absolutely everything wrong. And do you know what I think really got him here? Was simply, let's see, do I still have the screenshot open? No, I don't. It's simply a pretty good-looking Vietnamese girl told him he could raw dog. And she knew he was successful, or at least had decent money. Again, you can tell by his car and the photos that you see of kind of his lifestyle. He's doing okay for himself. She probably had some loser from a club or, some Chad Chattington get her pregnant, and she wanted an out, and she wanted the kid, but she didn't want to pay for it. And the look, this guy just has a look on his face of resigned, of just, I give up, of there's, but he is right. The only person that's going to really lose forever out of this is the kid, because if mom's already manipulative like this, imagine the lifestyle this kid's going to have. This kid's going to grow up in the same type of family with the same issues that get passed from mom to kid, and they're going to have the same issues all over again. I feel sorry. I don't feel sorry. Let me think. I do feel sorry for this dude because he's not aware. It's easy to say, I don't feel sorry for him, but I think a lot of us were this guy at one point in time, not with the raw dogging and single mom stuff, but there were a lot of us that said, I want to do the right thing. I'm raised from a good family. I was taught to take responsibility for my stupid mistakes. I made those stupid mistakes. I'm going to do my best to live up to the expectations of my stupidity. I think that's what he was doing. I think he realized, oh man, I was such a sucker. I'm so stupid for doing this, but I'm going to try to do what's right. I'm going to do what's right by my family. I'm going to do what's right by the little girl, even if this lady is nuts. And she kept pulling him in deeper and deeper and deeper. And only too late did he realize what happened. What I wonder is this. Does he learn from this? And my answer is no. I don't think he's learned anything from this experience. And why do I feel that? Because he's dating a single mom. He's dating a single mom. And if he's willing to do that, she'll probably manipulate him and say, oopsie, I'm pregnant. Maybe she does get pregnant on purpose. Maybe it is even his. But now he's got a second kid with a single mom. Maybe she convinces him that she really loves him, and then he gets married, and now he's married to a single mom with a kid that's not his, paying money and child support to another woman whose kid is not his. And the ex or the baby mama, she's going to be fine. Society won't punish her. She'll go through life probably milking all the rewards of being an insane woman, and this dude will ultimately earn what he deserves. And the real person that doesn't is the kid. That's the worst part of it. And then we have another generation, smash cut to 20 years from today. There's another generation of broken people, another woman that's out on the town, not being responsible, not having good relationships, ending up being a ward of the state, popping out kids that, because she's just going to follow mom's footprints. You know, society ends up being a copy of a copy of a copy. And what I mean by that, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, if you take a photocopy, or in modern times, I guess you could say, if you download and take someone's meme that they've taken, and then you re-upload it, someone else downloads it and saves it and re-uploads it, by the time that's been saved and re-uploaded and people are stealing it and reposting it, over time it looks like a blurb of hot, blurry mess. The same thing when you used to use the old photocopiers. You make a copy of and a copy of that copy and a copy, and everything gets blurry and blotchy and ugly. That's what's happening to society. The boomers raised Gen Xers, and they let Gen Xers go crazy. Like, get out of the house. I don't want to see you until 5 o'clock dinner time, and then we don't know what you're up to. And so Gen X became very independent, but they also became wild children. They were like feral hogs. I know this because I was one.
This is the story of me agreeing.
I know this because I was one. I was one of those feral hogs. And we grew up very independent, and that's a good thing. And then we said, my generation said, I don't want my kids to grow up without parents being in their lives, because we grew up to be like feral pigs. So they ended up smothering their children and taking care of all their problems. And we'll look out for you. Don't let anybody bully you, because I was bullied a lot as a kid, and I turned out like that. And I don't want you to suffer. I'll make life so easy for you. And that's what Gen X did to millennials. And then millennials grew up to be woke babies that are spoiled and entitled, narcissistic problem child. And then they raise their kids even worse. But at least the young kids today are seeing the millennials going, dude, you're messed. Like, you're messed up. I don't want to be like that. And now they're coming back to a little bit more towards center. It's the boomers were a pretty good generation, and they kind of screwed up with Gen X, and Gen X kind of screwed up with millennials, and millennials kind of screwed up with alpha, and things just get worse, and that's why we're in the mess that we're in today. In many ways, I want to feel bad for this guy because he was a nice guy, and he was raised probably with good morals and tried to do the right thing. And in the end, he got run over by a Mack truck because he was playing in the highway. And I think that's where all of us are. That's where all of us guys are now, because it either happened to us to some degree, or we see nightmares like this and we realize, holy crap, that could have been me. Men need to wake up. For this guy, I think it's too late because he's with a single mom. But for the rest of us, at least we can learn a message from him. And lastly, I don't have a dating profile of the day, but I will leave it with this, because this sums up many of the videos I've done across the past week, which is the Chinese women being entitled, and these women that are out there today that think that they're high-value women when they have nothing to offer. And then when they come out and say, you need to love me and cherish me because I'm a high-value woman, the men say, no, you have nothing. This is from the illustrious Reddit subreddit, Female Dating Strategy, which, as you know, is a bunch of women that have convinced themselves. It's almost like, it's kind of like pickup. It's like pickup game, but for women. And it's how women can manipulate men, except worse, way worse than the red pill stuff. It's how women can manipulate men and use men. And this is a post that got 393 upvotes. And it says, are most high-value women doomed? Well, because they're not high-value women. And the answer is, of course, yes. I've really been enjoying Female Dating Strategy, and I've incorporated all the strategies into my life and filtered out 99.99% of the guys I meet. That is Female Dating Strategy into a nutshell. They go in on through this Reddit forum and convince all women they're better than men, and men need to jump through these hoops, and men need to earn their love and their trust because these are the spoiled, entitled, perfect women that deserve only the cream of the crop men. And in the meantime, they're 40 pounds overweight, they got blue hair, they got a nose piercing, and they're feminists and they hate guys. So yes, she's the perfect female dating strategy, and I can see her incorporating all these strategies and filtering out 99.99% of the guys. I just need to highlight that a lot of men are unimpressive, cheap, and bloody annoying. It makes me wonder if some high-value women are just going to be single forever. That's right. When only 0.01% of men meet your standards, and you meet 0.00% of their standards, forever alone. I have a button for that. Let me find it.
So you get nothing. You lose.
She says, obviously, I do not revolve my life around men, but having a good partner wouldn't hurt, especially because I'm human and I need sex too. I can do everything alone, but I really want to have safe and good bedroom fun. It seems there are more good women than men out there. So she wants safe bedroom partners, safe boyfriends. I think that's good. I think it's definitely smarter than going out and finding strange at the bar every night. So I don't hate on her for that. However, she's shrank the dating market to 0% of men. And so now she says there's more good women than men out there. Well, good luck. You better start practicing your girl on girl skills, I guess. She said, are some high value women destined to be alone? Any advice for women like me who are incorporating female dating strategy principles in our life, but can't seem to find a good guy worthy of a relationship? And that's how it's going to go. It just is. And there are occasionally, you'll see posts where guys are saying, I deserve supermodels and I deserve a woman that's all the tens, even though I'm short, fat, bald, and living in my mother's basement. There are guys that make that post. They're usually the weird neckbeards that don't really have many interactions with other human beings. And it's their way to kind of virtue that that they think that they're better or worthy. But let's face it, that is a very, very small, less than 1% amount of men that are in the dating market. That's probably less than 1%. However, women that feel that they're not getting the quality men that they want and that they deserve more right now, what's that, 60, 70, 80% of women? A large majority of women think that way. Forever alone. And so now, this woman who would like to find a good guy will never find one. And this guy that I think is a good guy who probably would have liked to have had a good wife and a good girlfriend, and he wanted to do the right thing, and he wanted to be a good man for society and the family that he thought he created and all the other things. Now he's gone too. And both sides continue to fall in different directions, and both sides will never come back together. And that's why we've got the dating problems and the marriage problems and the divorce problems and the repopulation of the world problems. And it seems in most cases, it's because of the women and them getting exactly what they asked for and then not being happy with the results. All right, guys, I'll leave it there. Don't forget to join me on betterbachelor.locals.com. We're going to be doing movie streams. I might do a movie or a game stream later on this afternoon because, guys sitting around on Thanksgiving Day and they don't have any family, or you're like this poor guy in this video that's ruined his life, and you don't want to think about it, you can join a bunch of other goofy guys hanging in a chat room, having fun, hanging out with other like-minded guys. So come on over, join. You can become a member for free just with an email, and you become a supporter for just $5 a month if you want to do monthly. Try it once. I'd like to get like 100 guys, 100 more signups between now and Christmas. Just come check it out. If you don't like it, worst you did is give me $5, and like that'd almost buy me a cup of coffee. But I think once you get over there, you actually get in on the videos and the chats and start meeting other people and start making friends over there. I think you'll start making it a great place to hang out with other like-minded guys. All right, guys, I will leave it there. Super Dave says, movie, please. I'll think about it. I get bored just sitting, and we got movie night like on Saturday anyway, so we'll figure it out. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining me today. Happy Thanksgiving. If you're feeling a little down today, come hang out with us and we'll watch a movie or play video games and just hang out with a bunch of other idiots like ourselves while we share inappropriate memes and laugh at the world. I will leave it there, and we will see you in the next one.